do you know how Vinny became the Anemo Archon? Did you know that Mondstadt used to be a frozen land of ice and snow? The release of Temple of Space not only gave us ancient history from across Teyvat, but also filled in the complete development timeline of Mondstadt. Today, let me tell you the full story of how this city of freedom was born. About 5,000 years ago, the ancestors of the Mondstadt people lived in the northern snowfields, the place now known as Dormanport. This civilization was called Arcadia, and they worshipped the ruler of thousand winds and time, Istaroth. Later, for unknown reasons, this civilization was punished by heavenly principles and destroyed by a celestial nail. Around 3,000 years ago, Mondstadt had become a frozen wasteland. Fragile humans could only survive under the protection of two powerful gods. One was Decarabian, the god of storms and a general of heavenly principles who had once slain the Anemo dragon sovereign. The other was Andreas, the dominator of North Wolves, who came from Nodcry. Because the freezing north wind only brought death, while Decarabian's sharp gales, though painful, wouldn't kill you instantly. So most humans chose to seek shelter under Decarabian. Although gods can love humans, they are not human. People came to him seeking warmth, but he misunderstood it as a desire for stronger winds. When people were pressed down by his storms and couldn't stand straight, he thought they were bowing to him in worship. In this tragic misunderstanding, humans lived around the storm god's tower for 400 years. Finally, some humans grew tired of the oppressive winds. They volunteered to leave Decarabian's protection and search for a new home in the vast snowfields. Just when they were about to be swallowed by the blizzard, a young girl's sincere prayer brought hope. She summoned a single breeze from the thousand winds, a wind of hope and change. The wind spirits protected these brave survivors, and the name of that devout girl began to spread. Gunhilder, yes, she is Jean's ancestor. 600 years later, the wind spirits had grown much stronger. One of them passed through the wall of storms, hoping to make new friends. Inside the wall, he met a boy playing lyre. The boy sang to him about the stories and poems inside the storm wall. In return, the spirit planted the seed of freedom in the boy's heart, and let that seed spread through song across the land. With the help of a red-haired gladiator, the boy finally decided to lead the people in a rebellion against the tyrant god. Gunhilder's tribe outside the wall also came to help. Facing attacks from both inside and outside, the god could not hold on. The rebellion succeeded, but the brave boy fell into the arms of the red-haired gladiator. In order to fulfill the people's wishes and the boy's dying wish, the wind spirit, Barbados, took human form and became the new animal Archon. He scattered fierce hurricanes around the north into every second of the next 1,000 years, turning them into gentle north wind. He sliced off the tallest eastern mountains, connecting Mondstadt to the sea so that warm west wind could blow across the land. Only then did Mondstadt's landscape become what we know today. The people finally moved out of the old capital and built the new Mondstadt city on Cider Lake. However, after completing this great act of reshaping the land, Barbados had to pay the price for overusing the power of time and falling into a deep sleep that lasted hundreds of years. During this time, the old nobles who had once been liberated from the tyrant began to seize power. The Lawrence family and other old nobles suppressed the loyal Gunhilder clan and even took control of the Church of Favonius. They tore down Barbados' statue and built towers symbolizing their own power, until a gladiator from Natlan was sold into Mondstadt as a slave. About 1,000 years ago, Muratans from Natlan became slaves to the old Mondstadt nobles. They were forced to fight beasts, monsters, and even humans in the arena to entertain their masters. Among them was a powerful gladiator named Vanessa, who still deeply believed in the Pyro Archon. She made the nobles promise, if she won 100 victories in the arena, then she and her people would be granted freedom. But in her final match, she discovered her opponent was an undefeatable demon dragon, Ursa the Drake, the same dragon that later killed Deluxe's father. The old nobles had tricked her. They just wanted to watch her and her people become dragon fodder. At that moment, her desperate wish for freedom attracted the blessing of a god. Barbados, who had been asleep for 1,000 years, awakened and guided Vanessa to defeat the beast. Under the supervision of the Anemo Archon, the old nobles gave Vanessa freedom. They were also forced to hand over the rule of Mondstadt to Vanessa, and Mondstadt people were finally free again. After exiling the old nobles, Vanessa rebuilt the Favonius Cathedral and the statue of the Anemo Archon, and established the Knights of Favonius, which continues to this day. Barbados also summoned the wind dragon Dvalin to protect Mondstadt forever. Thus, the Four Winds Guardians were formed, and the system of New Mondstadt has continued until today. As for Barbados himself, he once again fell into a long slumber after using too much power, until a golden-haired traveler arrived in this land of freedom.